All right. What's up, y'all? So, I got another one for you with the age old question that I have made a point of for quite some time, but a lot of y'all out there don't hear me though. For a minute, I've been saying the black community is absolutely cooked. And when I stumbled upon this brother pretty much saying what I've been saying and maybe explain it a little bit better than I ever could, I said, yo, I got to talk about this without question. He has this and maybe one and I think one more video speaking about this. So I'm gonna go over both of those, even though I'll give y'all my commentary. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and let's get it.
I want to know what I learned about this whole accountability conversation and all the other conversations that's happening in the black community. The black community is cooked. The black community is fried. The black community is on a treadmill headed nowhere fast. All these new up and coming podcasters, they're mixed between Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, but they ain't actually doing no work Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X is doing. All they doing is talking on a daggone podcast. And I listen, I'm one of them. I want them, but I realize that, I'm actually not like the rest of these cats because I am in the mix. My name is heavy in these streets on the stuff that I do behind closed doors. So I'm not like the rest of these cats, but then again, I do have a podcast and I do talk on these situations, but I realize I ain't talking on these situations and pertaining to the black community no more because I already gave the black community the solution, but they don't want to do it. All they want to do is talk. They don't want to buy no property. They don't want to save. They don't want to budget. All they want to, and even in this conversation with Steve Madden, you got all these black women.
Yeah, he is right about that. There's just more talking, and of course, yeah, you can throw me in the mix too. It is what it is. I'm not even going to try to exclude myself out of this either. But I mean, I don't really talk about black issues a whole lot, but this particular one I did want to tackle, and he does make a good point. A lot of black people who want to talk about issues within the black community, that's all they really want to do, talk about it. There might be some out there that do genuinely want to, help people and fix things, but that's far and few between.
Women who so-called fighting against the patriarchy and capitalism is now saying Steve Madden is their man. They madly in love with a capitalist, a patriarchal capitalist who's worth $2.5 billion. Now all of a sudden that man is their man. And I realized, I said, oh man, yeah, we cooked. We cooked. None of y'all want true accountability. The reason why the black women want black men to be held accountable and take responsibility for stuff that they shouldn't take responsibility for is because they already hate black men. And it's the same thing with the black men toward the black women. The black men want the black women to be held accountable for stuff that doesn't pertain to them because they hate black women. The black community is cooked. We hate each other. And the supremacy did a good job by turning us against each other. They turned the tide so good that they got us thinking that we are each other's worst enemy. That we did the most egregious stuff in history to each other. That is genius. And now all these YT people who hate black people can now sit back and watch us destroy each other on the internet and in real life. And then I say, you know what? I don't have to engage in these conversations, me personally, because I don't have these problems in real life. All the black women I know is entrepreneurs, business owners, and they love black men. And all the black men I know is entrepreneurs, either work a 9 to 5 or whatever, and they love black women. I don't see this in real life. So I realized, I said, oh yeah. Now, and then you got people who's blowing up on podcasts and all this stuff, saying broad stuff that sounds good, but has no tangible substance to it. You know what I mean? Because all it is empty talk and empty phrases that sound good. And I realized that the only thing that these women want, unfortunately, sisters, the only thing y'all want is verbal validation. Remember where y'all heard that first. Verbal validation. Y'all don't want no tangible validation. Y'all don't want nothing tangible. Y'all just want somebody who can verbally validate whatever it is you got conjured up in your mind. That's why I said the black community is cooked. The black community is headed nowhere fast. They on a treadmill. The black community ain't marching no more. And we don't need to march. We know what to do, but we rather have verbal validation.
Verbal validation is 100% correct. He's 100% correct. And then you got, because the reason why a lot of these, like, certain podcasters, not every single one of them, but certain podcasters in the black sector of the internet blow up just saying a bunch of ear candy that both men and women essentially want to hear. I'm gonna keep it a buck here. It's because you have a lot of men and women in the black community that live miserable lives, and you have a select few black men and women in the community who are living great lives. They're successful, like business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's not a large number, at least from what I could see. Most are living miserable lives. That's why they gravitate towards, messages like that. What that Deontay Kyles guy was saying in my last video. Go check that out if you haven't already. That's why he blew up so much, because he gave black women verbal validation by saying, "Hey, black men need to hold each other accountable for the small group of bad black men that do the most harm in the black community," which is a crock of shit if you ask me. Now, another thing I wanted to touch, that I wanted to add on to what he's saying before we get to part two, black community is cooked because, like, shit, black people voted in large numbers for a woman pretending to be a black woman. Pretending to be a black woman this entire time. Didn't vote for her because of her policy. They voted for her because of symbolism. That's another thing that has the black community cooked. Symbolism. George Floyd's, all these people that the black community likes to make into martyrs that have no business being martyrs. No business. That Kamala Harris lady, she grew up like in an Indian household with Indian culture. There's not a drop of black in that woman. Oh, her dad's Jamaican though, but Jamaican doesn't mean black. Does not automatically mean black. There are non-black Jamaicans living in Jamaica right now, but I guess you can't tell black people that. They don't want to hear that shit. They don't. And I remember when I was first saying that black people are cooked. First time I said that was in the barbershop. And you can imagine the amount of backlash I got, because everyone in that barbershop, of course, they didn't quite understand what I was saying at the time, but I didn't expect them to. It's one of those things that you have to sit and marinate for a minute before they really understand it. I even told this to a close friend of mine. He didn't really believe me at first. Well, like within like recently, as of like last year, earlier this year, he came around and told me, he's like, "Man, you were right about the black community, man. It's over. It's over." I was like, "Man, I told you, I was just ahead of the curve." I tend to see these type of things before most people do. At least I think I do. But anyway, let's get to the part two of this brother's video.
Let me tell y'all something that y'all favorite intellects here on TikTok ain't gonna tell y'all. The dominant society did a good job by making black people, both men and women, make us think that we are each other's greatest enemy. Both black men and black women think that our ish don't stink. Both black men and black women feel like we're better than each other. Both black men and black women feel like one or the other group was more oppressed and suppressed and done dirty than each other. See, your favorite content creator is not going to get on here and say that, mainly because it's you have to choose a side in order to capitalize the way you need to capitalize. So you almost got to take the side of a man or a woman. You got to pander to the one or the other. Because when you in between, ain't no real money in between, because you always want to say something that's going to hurt them both or correct them both, and they ain't going to like it. So they always going to have something to say about you. So essentially, they pander, and they don't call it pandering. They don't call it pandering, but it is pandering. They pander to one side versus the other, which furthers the divide. They're not bringing the community together because they validating somebody else's, whatever those people want to hear, whether it be a man or a woman. All they doing is giving them people verbal validation. And that's how they keep their audience. If they was, look, I ain't taking no man on no woman's side, and they would say the hard things that both men and women need to hear, I guarantee they following won't be so big. There's people out here that do it. I'm one of the people that do it. You know what I mean? I don't take either side on man or women. I say we both are evil. We both all our ish stinks. We all need correction. We all need to be humble. We need to work together to work to fix these things. But no, men think they better than women. Women think they better than men. Men want to see women humble. Women want to see men humble. And we're like, okay, well, we're the black community is literally running on the treadmill fast, and now it's starting to speed up, and now everybody's going, sooner or later everybody's going to get tired and fall off the treadmill.
I mean, I don't see where he told a lie. I don't see where he told a lie at all because there's big money in pandering on the internet on either side for men or women, right? There's big money in this because otherwise, if there was no money in it, none of these individuals would do it. I mean, that's just how it works. Excuse me. That's just how it works. The reason guys like Derek Jackson, Pastor Papadon, Yada Awakening, just to throw some names out there, were able to get such a huge following because let's be real, on platforms like well, on TikTok specifically, there's more men using, or excuse me, there's more women using TikTok than men. So if you want to get the views, the support, the following, and even the revenue from people watching your videos, even though it's kind of smaller and smaller on TikTok, yeah, you're gonna have to tap into the majority of the people on there, which are women. And what do they want to hear? They want to hear things that validate their feelings about how they see the world. And when you're a man and you can do that, not just any man, but if you're a dude and you look like relatively you're what most women would find relatively handsome, and you're pandering to them. Oh, that's a double cash cow. That's like an infinite money glitch until you say something they don't like, or do something that they find a little off-putting. Like Derek Jackson cheating on his wife, and that's pretty much damn near destroyed his career. But some women forgave him, and they still want to support all the utter bullshit that he spews out of his mouth. But the point is, yeah, it's like there's a lot of people that pander on both for the men and for the women, and he's right. If you're the person that try to keep more things fair and balanced, you're not going to get that much support. And then pandering, it's certainly not for me. No, I can't do it. I mean, I'm more of a fair and balanced type dude, or at least I try to be, or at least I try to be. You know what I'm saying? Because I call out at the way I see it, and I don't expect everyone to agree with me or anything like that. This is not an echo chamber. I don't expect everyone to, you have to agree with me or fuck you and get away from me. Like, nah, I don't operate like that. I don't want to be in a situation where everyone agrees with me all the time. Like, I'm almost never wrong. It's almost like you kind of worship me. I don't want that. I want you to have a mind of your own. You feel me? But that's just how. That's exactly what's going on. So, well, what this brother's saying, I really don't see. I really don't see any issue or any lies he told. Yeah, it's overall a wrap. I mean, he pretty much confirms what I've been saying about the black community for a long time. It's cooked. It's at the point of no return, and a lot of black people don't want to listen. Don't want to listen to the reason they don't want to see what the big picture is. I mean, some really believe that they're above being incorrect and above being told like, hey, or above being held accountable and being checked on something they shouldn't be doing. It's sad, but true. And with that being said, I'm gonna end the video right here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. I really appreciate it. And thanks to all the people who leave me hate comments in my last video. I mean, hell, you helped pushing the video even further. So I'm pretty grateful for y'all too. And make sure you guys hit the link in the description to follow me on all my other social medias and support my channel directly. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.